This is Dungeon Not Included, the actual play podcast for the adventurous listener. You are listening to our game of Bulldogs, a sci-fi adventure RPG from Galileo Games. Brennan is your GM and host, Frank plays Sticky, Alex plays Graucom McGruff, and Red plays San Ming. Our theme music is by Seamus Ronan.
Previously on Dungeon Not Included. Oh my gosh, where do we begin? So we after Graucom decided to confront the enemy ship that was coming in, San forgot her sword and decided to abandon everyone to go get it. Stick and Graucom flew off with the slug scientists, released them into Atmo, went back. San judoed a ton of people to get her sword back, ended up beaten, winded, but back on an escape pod back to our main ship, and we come back to her beginning to dock with us, having not seen her since he decided to go on a suicide mission.
Okay.
Can you really call it suicide mission if she lived?
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes,
think
you can.
I think you kind of barely lived.
Yeah.
I was fine.
You were down to your severe consequence and I think 2 stress points.
Well, if y'all hadn't took the last crew pool, she could have hulked out.
We created that crew pool for you. Your crew was in the ship generating crew pool so you could survive. And you're like, well.
I'm just saying, like, at last point, I could have used it to hulk out. It's possible. That was a possibility.
Anyway, once the scientists are returned, the administrator is very pleased with you for rescuing his people. Administrator Slurf. But he is disappointed that you didn't get the ship and bring it back.
Okay, great. I say to Slurf, I'm like, I want my ship fixed. I want it fixed immediately. And I don't want to hear a word from you or any of your crew.
He just nods his head at you and gestures to the tech at the at the dock, who immediately starts working on your ship.
I spend like the next few seconds. I'm barking at anything that's in my way, especially anybody that's coming to thank us for the good work we've done. Yeah, I do not want to hear any praise from anyone.
Right. The scientists are coming to thank you, and the administrator sort of waves his arms and guides them off as you're yelling at them.
Yes. So where would we get another job from? Is there like a terminal or anything, any kind of uplink to Transgalaxy?
You could get one from here. Yeah, there's an uplink from Transgalaxy.
Okay.
It would be like you'd be like logging in remotely to try to find a job.
All right. So I'm logging in and I'm looking for a crew drop off, a job where we can possibly also exchange our crew. So like a more populated area that would have other Transgalaxy people working.
Okay. Yeah.
And I leave with the terminal logged in as if that's the last thing I'm doing, looking for a place to switch up crews.
Okay.
Is he doing this to like be passive aggressive at San, or just like announce to the station that they're on that he hates his crew, or what the hell is his goal here?
Who are you asking?
Red is asking Frank.
It's he doesn't have a goal other than he's going to go to a place where people can make a decision on what they want to do with their futures, as opposed to just being stuck together because they happen to be.
Okay.
If you want your character to notice any of that, then you can. But he's not doing this for an audience.
I feel like Son has no reason to check the terminal, which is why I asked Frank instead of Son asking Sticky.
Right, and Frank is answering like it's up to you. Like your character doesn't have to have a reason unless Red you want to role play that.
No.
Have a reason and then you find it.
No.
But if you don't, you don't have to.
How about you, Growlcom? Are you likely to spot that?
Honestly, I'm sure Growlcom's probably more worried about making sure San's okay, considering the ass beating that she looks like she's gotten. She came on the ship bloodied. I'm sure he's not really probably talking to her at the moment, but he is probably like tending to her.
Tending to her wounds.
Yeah. Like pulling out a handkerchief, like your face. You might want to.
There is a med bay.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe I'll like kind of guide.
It's an automated med bay, right? Like it'll
on the ship. Wait, are you talking about an automated med bay on the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please, can we see? Can you roll computers against Flappy to see how you're healed?
No, I'm not messing with the system. I'm not. Flappy can be as annoying as he wants. I don't want to be shot up anymore. But it's
looks
automated.
like you got into a firefight.
Would you like me to realign your nose for you?
Hold still, this may hurt.
But yes, yeah, like San is obviously hurt, but if anybody tries to show concern, she'll wave them off. So,
okay.
Then maybe Growlcom does. If you're gonna be like shoving me off, like ignoring me after everything too, then I'm just gonna probably go off with. Maybe I do see him
like
plug that in the computer.
Just be like, I'm okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right. Then Growlcom's gonna like offer you the handkerchief, and you bat it away while you head off to the med bay, and then Growlcom's ears are gonna go down, his tail's gonna fall, and he's gonna walk towards Stick.
Okay.
I want to specify, San is not being mean.
No, I know, but you're
off.
Yeah, you're waving off the person who went out of their way to try and save you in like multiple things, and basically felt like they were having a battle for your soul. That would be waved off. So,
I mean, that's a lot of emotional baggage to put on somebody who doesn't even know that's how you feel. So.
No, that's fine. No, you don't have to engage with that yet. That's something that can come up later.
Yeah,
right.
for
Be
sure.
respectful of your distance.
That's right.
Desire for distance.
So you come by and you spot the terminal and you can see what Sticky did, Growlcom.
And then he's gonna hop up after Stick. Stick.
Yeah.
You put in for a new crew.
Yeah, giving people a chance to decide what they want to do with their futures.
Are you talking about leaving us, or are you looking for us to leave you? Are you looking for people to join us? What's your end game here?
Something tells me that Trans Galaxy is going to saddle me with this ship for a little longer. But
All right.
If they want me somewhere else, I'll go somewhere else. And if you or her want to go somewhere else, I think it's time we recognize when a group isn't working well together.
I mean, Stick, we've had some differences here or there, and granted, some of those differences has led us to almost die multiple times, but we've also, helped a lot of people.
I'm not in this to help a lot of people. And
but you just did.
We didn't. We risked a lot of people so we could get our sword back. I can't follow the line of logic, man. So maybe it's best that we look for crew that we're simpatico with,
Are you okay, Stick, when you say we, are you talking about actually we, or is this some sort of like royal we situation where you're actually talking about
About your
yourself?
other captain who's in the sick bay.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's then there should definitely be a talk. I get that. I 100% get that.
I actually had literally the same talk you had with her right before she walked back in for her sword. Listen, I'm not trying to be anybody's boss. I'm saying that if I'm about to get killed and there's a bunch of innocent people who are also about to get killed and we have one chance to get out of Dodge, we take that chance to get out of Dodge. And if we can't be on the same page, that's cool. I respect that. This, and I tap at the console, is me respecting that. I'm not saying anything wrong. I went back and helped save her and her, I guess, fairly heirloom favorite thing she ever stole. I don't care. I'm not going to get the real backstory. It doesn't matter.
Well, Son's a creature of secrets. We know this. But
I also don't even care about that. That's great. Be a creature of secrets or whatever you just said. But the point is, it ain't working.
Have you considered asking San why she wants that sword so badly?
well, I did. In all fairness, I did confront you and say why you're going back for just a sword, and all you said was, "I can't explain to you why." We literally had an opportunity for you to explain it, and you wouldn't do it.
No, she said, "I don't think you would understand," and then you cut her off before she did explain.
Okay, I do. Well, I'm taking your word. Okay, I take you for your. I take you for your word. I want to understand.
I
don't think you'd understand, but here's the understanding.
Yeah, I literally was going to say something about like how sometimes people are like, I don't think you understand, but here's my reason, right?
I think this could happen now. You could walk out and hear this.
I mean, if y'all don't want to ask her again, that's fine with her, but she was going to explain before you cut her off.
Stick doesn't, to be honest, but this could be a scene where you come out and ask why we're not asking. But Stick's not interested. You've said that you have a bunch of interests that he won't understand, and he's okay with that. He's very much about consent. He's like, all right, you don't want to follow you have your own path. That's cool. This will be easier.
You know what? Yeah, I think Sun will come out when you're talking about how she's a fucking creature of secrets, and she's like, you could just ask.
Ask what?
Ask why the sword means so much to me.
Son, okay, before we get into this too, just throwing it out there, when you say you have something that we won't understand, last time you said that, you got mad at us because you were a beast. Do you remember that whole, like, you can't ask me about my planet, my species, you can't, we're going to my home world, but don't look or touch anything? Why would this be any different?
Okay, first of all, calling people a beast is rude.
Oh, sorry. Hair monster.
Secondly, I said I don't think you'd understand, and I was going to explain, but then you cut me off, so...
Oh, that's fair. We should have sat around and heard the life story of your sword while we were being run down by piratical villains. We had to get out. Okay, fine. Tell us the story of the sword. Go for it. We're all ears, and Graucom sits down like with a shit-eating grin on his face. We're all ears. Want to hear about this sword? Tell me why this sword was so important that we almost died.
I did not expect you to die. I told you to leave my ass there, so you don't have to be all snippy about it, first of all. Secondly, I will tell you if you're not going to be an asshole about it.
I don't know if Graucom can, honestly. He's not in a good place right now. So I think Graucom's gonna turn to Stick and say, Stick, I'm still with the crew. This is between you guys at this point, and I'm gonna walk away and go find a bar.
There is the one bar.
And that's where he's going. And he probably goes in, you hear like little slug voices going, woo! Because you gotta save them.
Yeah.
Stick looks up at San.
San is honestly a little bit shocked. She's like, I have never seen him like that before.
Emotional?
No, a dickhead.
I guess it's subjective.
I offered to give him what he asked for, and he threw it back in my face.
You really want my opinion on this?
You're gonna say that I'm being the asshole.
No, I just think you're doing what you want to do. There's nothing really wrong about it, except on a crew, it doesn't necessarily work well. I mean, he probably doesn't care why you wanted the sword. It may be a really good reason. Great. I don't know. But it wasn't the time or the place, and it wasn't offered, and it was a danger to him. Or at least it would be a danger to him if he cared about you the way one crew member would care about another crew member. Yeah, he could have just listened to you and abandoned you, but that's not Graucom. And you don't understand what makes Graucom tick, and I don't think you want to or care to. And that's why I think it might be best if we all explored different opportunities.
I understand that he cares about me, and I appreciate your help. I really do. But I'm just saying that you didn't have to risk yourselves for me.
If you
could've-
really understood him, then you know that that wasn't true.
Him I can understand, but why the hell did you come back? You hate me.
I'm an enigma.
You certainly are that. If he has a problem with me, he needs to tell me. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's him telling you.
Yeah, well, dancing around the subject and being passive-aggressive isn't a great way to tell people.
I'm always in favor of actual aggression. But sometimes you just gotta drink.
Well, since you know him so much better than I do, you think he wants me to go after him, or do you think he wants me to leave him alone?
Honestly, I think he wants to know what you want. But what you want is just for him to forgive you or be okay with you. You're probably not going to get what you want. You know, he's always going to want to be part of a pack. That's just him. And if you're going to go off on your own and do what you think is right every single time, then you're what's an animal that has only one of it? A lone wolf? Wolves also have packs. This is a stupid analogy, but you're different, and it probably just won't work out. Unless he wants to make it work out.
I don't want to run off on my own. I appreciate you helping me. And I think that if we all were committed to actually helping people, we could get along a lot better.
You were wrong about the sword. You got to admit it.
I never said
there was
that.
No helping people with that sword. That was all you. Whatever baggage you have with that sword, it was all you. Trust me, I know Selfish, and I know Hero, and that was definitely not Hero.
I know it was selfish. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do, but it was something that I needed to do. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Well, maybe Graucom will think that that's acceptable. That you acknowledging it's selfish and it's just occasionally something you'll have to do, he'll be willing to ride with you again. I don't know. For me, I really don't see why we would stick together.
You said yourself that you never wanted to be in charge of anybody, and yet you're always trying to tell us what to do. So I think you need to decide what you want. And with that, Son's going to start heading towards the bar.
As soon as she leaves, I'm like, wanted was a drink, but these two assholes already went to the
What's the bar look like? Give me some setting.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the bar is a smallish room, about the size of somebody's living room, probably.
Is the Cantina song playing?
No.
Damn.
It's Tetsuation music, which is even worse.
You got a whiskey drink? You got a beer drink. You got a...
It's Chumbawamba.
I'm sorry, are you saying that the Cantina song is bad?
Oh, no,
Are
he's
you
not
I think
saying it's
explaining-
better.
Tetsuation music is definitely worse than that.
Okay. I wanted to clarify that. Because it sounded like you were saying it was a bad song when it's awesome.
Oh, okay.
It may be
Here's the
awesome,
question,
it's
though.
just
Is it
repetitive.
which on a scale of that to Chumbawamba? Where is the music? that we're
Right.
playing on?
Thank you, Alex, for hearing my Chumbawamba callback.
Yes.
Oh, God. Anyway.
No, it's Tetsuation music, which is very liquid and sort of bloopy sounding.
I'm just picturing like what would be on a Lava Lamps playlist.
Exactly.
Like if a lava lamp made sound, this is what it would sound like.
Right. The bar is very short. There's a Tetsuation behind it. There's a few tables in here with some Tetsuations around it. And there's a spot at the bar for you to sit down, Gralcom.
Gralcom's gonna sit down and just ask for a cup of water.
He says, the guy serves it to you on the house, he says.
Thanks. And Gralcom's
Water on the
gonna-
house. Gee whiz.
It's a space station.
Yeah.
They don't make it here.
Also, read Dune, please. Thank you. You don't have to read Dune.
The only thing I know about Dune is that the spice must flow. So
Oh. So yeah, Gralcom's just has his water. And he's
Yeah.
just gonna sit there.
Son will show up after a few minutes
Hmm.
and sit down next to him.
I was gonna say something really dumb, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
No, I was okay. I was gonna. You want to know what I was gonna say? Gralcom picks up
Yeah.
the cup and starts licking the water out of it with his tongue.
So good. That's amazing. I
All
love
right,
that.
that's canonically how he drinks now. Is he's sitting there, he's just taking
Bowl
one
will be
little.
better.
He's got a martini glass and he's just taking little laps out of it with his tongue.
God, that's so great. It's horrible. I love it.
Mhm.
And San is going to sit down next to him, and she says, "Look, I know what I did was selfish, and I don't expect you to forgive me for doing that. But it's something that I needed to do. And I don't know if you can understand that, but I would like it if you could."
All right. Well, tell me about this. Okay. You last time you said I didn't understand. I interrupted you and you were going to tell me about the sword and it was going to explain everything to me. So tell me about the sword.
It was my sister's. She is the one who taught me to fight, and she's also the one who wanted to get off of Thald the most out of anyone. She's the reason I became a pilot. She's the reason I left home. She is the reason I'm here with you and helping people. And she, well, the mining colony wasn't the first people who have found fault, and it won't be the last, but there were a couple of people that came in on a really small ship, and they saw my sister transformed and they killed her. And so I made a promise that if she couldn't see the universe, I would at least take her sword to see it. So I couldn't just leave it stuck on a planet.
All right. I understand emotional attachment. I do. I was in the wars long enough to know that sometimes the little bit you have with you from before is sometimes all you have. I get it. I don't like being put in positions where I have to choose between the unit and the individual. That's not how I was trained. And it's very hard for me to hear and understand when someone tells me, when I asked what was right, what the right thing to do was, it was to abandon part of my crew. I don't like that. And I don't like being put in that position.
Thank you for coming back for me anyway.
Well, I'm not going to leave you behind. I thought that was very clear when I mean, I gave you your armor for a reason.
I know. I think about where I grew up is that, you know, everything's about keeping secrets. Don't ever tell anybody what you are. Don't ever show yourself where you can't hide. Don't ever be the monster unless you absolutely have to be. And it's nice to feel like I can do things, even when I'm not supposed to. And I guess this time I just took that in the wrong direction.
At first, when you first brought us to Thald, I didn't get the whole secret thing until I had to get the whole secret thing. Like, I understand that. I get the whole, no one could know about your home planet. The mining colony was a big issue. The whole turning into a creature that can take out others and scares other people who don't understand are going to hurt you. I get that. But how many more secrets are there, son? Like, is this going to be the new thing? We go on missions and then halfway through there's a secret we don't know about that's going to jeopardize our lives because something you have or lose or something you didn't tell us that might be important for crew to share with each other just doesn't come up.
I only have one secret, and you already know it. And just because I didn't tell you that my sister died doesn't mean that I was keeping it a secret from you. It just means that you never asked.
Well, you made it very clear you didn't want people asking you questions. You've made this, that's been your whole thing. I don't really know you, frankly, at this point. I know you as a pilot. I think I know you as a companion on the ship, but don't really know you. And that's fine until it's not fine. And this was not fine. This was a rescue mission like we've done a million times before that almost went really south for the people we were trying to take care of because we don't know each other well enough yet. I'd like you to stick around and get to know you better, But if that's not something we can do, then I get it. I understand.
I stopped keeping secrets when I told you about what I am. So, if you want to get to know me better, ask away.
What do you have? Any flags down the bartender?
You want my whole life story?
Oh, I meant, what do you want to drink?
I think that's a good place to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Nice.
Nice.
Yes, it was awesome.
That
Yeah,
was
so
good.
this is some serious stuff going on right now. That's cool.
Whenever
Yeah.
I can twist the story into feelings, I will.
Yes.
Do it. Do
For
it.
sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, that was great.
Glad we were able to get back into it.
Getting back into it didn't seem to be much of a problem.
No, not at all.
We jumped in feet first.
Yeah, we absolutely did.
Oh,
Hey there, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Dungeon Not Included. If you did, please tell a friend and leave us a 5-star review and encouraging comments on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. It really does help spread the word for new shows like ours. You can follow the latest from the Dungeon Not Included crew on Twitter at DNI Crew, and over at Facebook at Dungeon Not Included, or at our home on the Non-Productive Network at Non-Productive.com/DNI Crew, where you can find articles, character sheets, and Patreon exclusives, as well as our latest episodes. Thanks!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.